What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 8, Episode 8, Sunny's Destiny has arrived. So we are still at the meeting between Melody and Marceau, where Melody wanted to have a word with Marceau about him talking about her and her situation with Martel to the press. Now, Marceau's defense is that he wasn't just gossiping about Melody and Martel, that someone had approached him and asked him if he was the one that Melody had filed the charges against regarding being harassed, basically her being a victim of revenge porn and being harassed by phone. Um, they thought that maybe Marceau was the one that was, the perpetrator in that. And that's his defense. Like, hey, they came to me asking me if I'm Martel. And instead of just saying a simple no, I'm not Martel, if that even happened, because I don't trust anything that comes out of Marceau's mouth, if that even happened, I think Marceau took the opportunity when whoever came to him to ask him whatever they asked him, he just took that opportunity to basically gossip about Martel and Melody. He wasn't trying to clarify anything. He wasn't trying to clear up that he's not Martel. I think that they came to him, they asked him, well, what do you think about Martel and Melody? And he gave his opinion. It had nothing to do with mistaken identity or whatever the hell he was talking about. So Melody tells him, well, from now on, just don't say anything about me and mine. If anybody comes to you and asks you anything about Melody Rogers, Melody Sheree Rogers, just keep your mouth shut, no comment, and keep it moving. Don't give any comments or make any statement or have any kind of discussion about me on any type of public platform. So then Marceau talks about her supporters and how crazy they are, and how she needs to control her supporters. And I loved Melody's comeback to that statement, because she said, you want me to control, thousands and thousands of people. But then when I come to you and your wife about Miss Wanda and how her mouth is so reckless about me and mine, y'all tell me that y'all can't control her. But you expect me to control, all of these other people, these masses of people out there. You expect me to control them. Gotcha. Stop the hypocrisy, Marceau. Stop the hypocrisy. So I'm so glad that she made that valid point. He had nothing to say after that. Moving on to Stormy. So Stormy meets up with Destiny. She talks about how she has to move warehouses because she has grown out of her current warehouse because, she's selling so many products. So she's going to be moving into a bigger warehouse. And then she tells Destiny about an incident that happened at her warehouse where one of Melody's supporters had come there to confront her. So they didn't go into too much detail about that. All she said was, hey, somebody came to my warehouse and it was one of her supporters and an incident happened or something. I don't really know. So after that, they talk about Stormy's event, her lovers and friends event. And she tells Destiny that Moses and Sunny were invited. Of course, Destiny gave the stink face. And then Destiny talks about her meeting with Moses and how Moses showed up to the meeting without his wedding ring, which I think was completely foul for Moses to come to that meeting with Destiny and he didn't have his wedding ring on. Absolutely foul that he did that. I don't know what type of message he was trying to send to Destiny in a subliminal way. I don't know why he would not wear that. That didn't make any sense to me at all. And so then, Destiny talks about how she was betrayed by Moses and Sunny, and Moses was still with her when he was talking. I don't care about any of that stuff because all the men on this show, except for Marceau, but I don't think anybody would want to admit that they've been with Marceau. So maybe that's the reason why he doesn't have the same issue as the other men do when it comes to living in this gray area. But all the men on this show have these great moments in their relationships where nobody can define when one relationship ended and another one began. Like, all of them have that issue. Martel, him with his side piece and Melody. Then you have Maurice, Kimmy, and Kaya. Like, was he with Kaya? Was he not with Kaya when he got with Kimmy? Nobody will ever know. Then you have Chris Fletcher. Now he's pulled into it. Chris Fletcher. Was he still with his ex-wife when he started messing around with Nell, or was he not? Nobody knows. So all of them have these gray areas in their relationships, and nobody can figure out when one thing. And so to me, it really doesn't even matter when Destiny starts talking about dates and months, and he was still with me when he was talking to her. And none of this really matters, simply because of this. Number one, Destiny and Moses were not. I'm trying to understand why Destiny is building up her relationship with Moses the way that she has, because she talks about Moses as if they were in this very serious, long term, damn near married relationship for so many years. But then where does your ex husband fall in? Like, where do we place LeBeric, or whatever the hell his name is? Where do we place LeBeric in this timeline? Because she talks about Moses so much, and how, that relationship was so deep, and they were together, for so long, and this was her one and only, her true love, her soulmate, and he betrayed her because he started talking to Sonny when he was still with her. Where does your ex-husband fall in place? Like, when did you meet your ex-husband, have a kid with him, marry him, or vice versa, however it went? When did that occur? While you're having this very deep, soul wrenching relationship with Moses. Moving on to Marceau and Tisha. So Marceau tells Tisha about his meeting with Mel. And he brings up how Melody told him that when she was, filing charges against Martell for the revenge porn, he nobody checked on her. None of her friends on the show checked on her. And Tisha says, well, when we try to text her, she never responds. So why would we check on her? Because she's probably not going to respond. Okay, but that's a whole different situation, Tisha. Y'all, and okay, granted, if they're texting Melody, Melody should respond. If it's like a, hey girl, how you doing? What's up? What are you got any plans or whatever? Melody needs to respond. She should be responding to her castmates when they text her. But that should not stop you from checking in on her when something serious as this goes down. She filed charges against Martell. Whether y'all believe she should or shouldn't have done it, whether y'all believe whatever he did was wrong or not wrong, serious or not serious, she was still going through something. And you would think that y'all would have dropped her a text to be like, hey, we saw this on the news or in the blogs, just checking to make sure you're okay. And if she don't respond, but at least you did your part. But, that sounds too much like right. So they're not going to do that. They talk about social media. Marcel thinks that they talk about social media and the melanators, how, her army is really strong, and they intimidate, I guess, other cast members. And Marcel thinks that, Marcel tells Tisha about how when he brought up you need to control your supporters, Melody came back with, well, how can I control my supporters when you can't even control Miss Wanda? So he thought that that was a really good point. And he tells Letitia, I had nothing to say to that. She brought up a really good point. And I love the fact that he acknowledged that, what she said had a lot of validity to it. Marcel also mentions how there was nothing wrong with taking Mel's advice regarding the Black Expo, because Letitia wants to make it seem like, the advice that Mel gave, I think Letitia wants to make it seem like, that they were going to do that anyway. That was nothing, her advice to them about monetizing their event by having sponsors. I think Letitia wants to make it seem like, well, they were going to do that anyway. But Marcel is more like, there's nothing wrong with giving credit where credit is due. She had a good idea, and we took that idea, and there's nothing wrong with admitting that, that was a good idea and that it helped us. There's nothing wrong with that. But Letitia hates Melody so much that she will never give credit where credit's due for Letitia. Moving on to Stormy. So it's the day of her lovers and friends event. And she's also going to be promoting her body glaze. So everybody starts showing up. Nell pulls Sonny to the side to get her side of the story regarding the whole Sonny Moses versus Destiny situation. And Sonny, she tries to make it look like, hey, when I met Moses, him and Destiny were through. There was even a couple of women in between Destiny and me that he was seeing. So I didn't steal anybody from anyone. Like, it doesn't matter. Who cares? Moses is not even the damn prize. It doesn't even matter. Like, who cares? We'll never know. We'll never get to the bottom of it because nobody's being 100% honest about exactly what went down. She talks about how Moses was the one that had approached her. Initially, she had resisted. Then she gave in to him because she wanted to give him a chance. She talks about how she didn't want to block her blessings. I'm not sure exactly why you would consider Moses a blessing, but she didn't want to block her blessings. So she decided to go ahead and give him a chance, and that, he was dating several other people. So Sunny says, I did not take Moses away from destiny. This whole notion of people taking someone away from somebody else, you cannot take a grown adult from anybody. You cannot steal. We're no longer in slavery times. You cannot steal a person from somebody else. Moses walked away from his relationship, or he was cheating on destiny, however the hell it happened. Moses was the one that made the conscious decision to do what he did. Sonny did not take Moses from anybody. You can't do that. He's his own person. He was the one that made the decision that he was either going to talk to 2 women at once, or 3, 5, 6, 7 women at once, or he was going to end his relationship with Destiny and go be with Sonny, however the hell it happened. So Nell says, well, you're saying that you didn't steal Moses away from Destiny, but it sure as hell looks like it. Now I'm like, Nell, slow down. Don't do too much. Because Martell is telling people that you are also a side chick, and that Chris Fletcher was cheating on his wife with you. So don't go too hard on Sunny being the other woman when Martell is running this campaign that you are the OG of side chicks. So moving on from there, Destiny shows up, and Sunny asked her. She walks up to her. She's like, "Hey, can we have a word?" So Stormy takes the 2 women into like a little side room for them to have, their moment together. So they talk about why Destiny went on a podcast to talk about the situation with Sunny and Moses, but she could never talk to Sunny directly. And Destiny says, well, I'm a public figure, so I went on a public platform to talk about my situation. Girl, whatever. I don't know why Destiny did not confront Sunny, because she has a lot to say now about Sunny being the side piece, and being the cheating with Moses and betraying her because that was her friend. She has a lot to say about it now. I'm not sure why Destiny didn't confront Sunny when Sunny was trying to contact her, unless they weren't filming at that time and Destiny just wanted to do the confrontation on camera instead of, during the off season. I don't know why. She didn't want to say anything to her back then, but she wants to say something now. Destiny says, well, when did y'all get together? Sunny says somewhere between July and August. Destiny says, well, we were together in July and August. Girl, who cares? Sunny said that he was in a whole other relationship when I met him, or when me and him got together, he was with somebody else. So Destiny was like, well, so what does that say about you? Insinuating that, okay, if he wasn't cheating on me with you, he was cheating on somebody else with you. So what does that say about you, you homewrecker? So Destiny is like, well, you must have been the side chick to two. You must have been the side chick to 2 women. I guess herself and whoever this other woman was. Honey, y'all are all side chicks. The way Moses was moving, and from what I'm hearing, from what Sunny's been saying, all of y'all were side chicks to one another, to each other. Okay, he wasn't faithful or monogamous to anybody. All of y'all were side chicks. So they're going back and forth, and I'm like, they're in this heated moment about this man, and I'm like, he's not really the prize. I mean, girl, Destiny, you should be happy that this woman took this man off your hands. Okay, all of these rumors circulating how he was seeing all these different women while he was with you, while he was with Sunny, whatever the hell was going on. You should be like, girl, can we be BFFs? Because you did me a huge favor by taking this man off my damn hands. Okay, because he don't know, he can't even spell the word faithful. So they're arguing, and where's Moses? While these 2 women are going at it with each other, Moses is somewhere, having a damn good time at the damn party, eating, drinking, talking, laughing, and you got these 2 women going at each other over him. Then we also find out that at some point Moses was in prison. So then Destiny says, why they gotta, okay, after all of that, Destiny walks out of the room, she leaves, And Martell now is here at the party. So Destiny walks up to Martell. She gives Martell a quick rundown about what happened between her and Sonny. And then she's asking Martell, well, why do they have to be here? Meaning Moses and Sonny. Why do they have to be at this party? Like, why the hell not? Why are you here? They were invited. Why can't they be there? So Martella says he's not going to be showcasing his body. He says he's not ready to show any kind of skin. And when they showed Ken, I guess Ken took his place. When they showed Ken and Trisha or Trish, when they showed them together doing whatever they were supposed to be doing with the body glaze, like he was like, rubbing this body glaze on her, I thought that was a much better fit because there's actual chemistry between Ken and Trisha. I'm not sure why Stormy didn't ask Ken. He's got the better body. He's body ready. Why couldn't she pick Ken to begin with instead of Martell? I didn't understand that. And if it was still going to be Martell, was he going to be the one rubbing that body glaze on Trish? Because Ken would have, jumped out of his seat if Martell would have put his hands on Trish and started rubbing anything on her. So I was very confused about what Martell was supposed to be doing. Or was it like a last minute thing when Stormy, not when Destin, what's her name? When Stormy decided that Ken was going to put, his hands all over Trish. Moving on. So Nell and Destiny, they exchange information about Sonny and Moses. So Nell goes up to Destiny and says, hey, this is what Sonny told me about what went down between all of y'all. And of course, Destiny has her side of the story. And whoever you talk to, they sound believable. So at first, Nell was kind of believing Sonny when she was talking to Sonny. Now that she's talking to Destiny, she's believing Destiny. And Destiny tells Nell that this is Sonny's MO. This is what she does. She takes men from other women because she did this before to one of her homegirls or whatever. Destiny then tells Nell that Moses chose Sonny out of all the women he could have picked. He picked Sonny, which was her producer and her so-called alleged best friend. He picked Sonny because he just wanted to hurt Destiny. I don't think so. I don't think he chose Sonny to hurt Destiny. I think he chose Sonny because he wanted to be with Sonny. And maybe it was exciting that this was also her producer and her friend. That made it more exciting for Moses to be sneaking around with Sonny. I don't know. But I think he chose Sonny because he just wanted to be with Sonny. I don't think he chose Sonny because he just wanted to hurt Destiny. Why would he want to hurt Destiny like that? So Destiny starts crying, talking about how she was so betrayed by these people. Girl, you had a whole husband at some point. I guess she was married, had her kid, got a divorce, went back to started dating Moses, and then that ended. But if that's the case, then she wasn't with Moses that damn long. And she makes it seem like this relationship was so deep, and that's why she felt so betrayed. I don't know. She says that she's known him for 15 years. They have been through a lot. He was with her during some of her darkest moments, and so on and so forth. And she wasn't like this when her marriage ended. When she had to divorce the father of her child and her husband, Destiny did not show any kind of emotion. But then with this dude right here, of course, now it's got to be just for television. She's making it more than what it is. It has to be for the dramatic effects, for the sake of TV. Moving on to Stormy. So Stormy's at home with her husband, and Courtney tells her that he just came from the warehouse. And while he was at the warehouse, the police had shown up looking for Stormy. And Stormy says she didn't know why, but we know she knows why. So I'm trying to figure out if they were at the warehouse to issue an arrest warrant or to arrest her, why didn't they go to her house? Why are they going to her warehouse? Why wouldn't they have gone to her house? Courtney tells her that you might want to call your lawyer. And I'm like, okay, fine. So she calls whoever she calls, and she finds out that she's got 2 warrants out, one for harassing communication, the other one for disorderly conduct. So this is coming from the incident where allegedly it's one of Nell's fans, but I don't know, but from what I've been hearing is one of Mel's fans had shown up at her warehouse. Um, and I got this from the YouTube channel. I think it's called True Tea. And I think what happened was this woman shows up at the warehouse with her friend and they want to return an item. And Courtney and Stormy are like, we don't do returns at the damn warehouse. And the woman didn't leave. So then Stormy got kind of crunk with her. And, words were exchanged, threats were made. I think Stormy was threatening the lady because she was so upset that that lady was even there. The lady called the police. I'm not sure who called the police. I don't know if it was the lady or Stormy herself. I don't know. And then, one thing led to another. I don't know. Now there's these arrest warrants out for her. And my personal opinion on that, when I was listening to some other content creators talk about it, I don't understand why the lady showed up at a warehouse to return an item. Now, according to this woman, she said that she came to the warehouse because she's like a little bit elderly and a little bit older, I should say, and her friend didn't know how to do anything online. They don't know how to do whatever online because they're not technologically savvy. So they just wanted to do the return in person. And I mean, I know enough to know that you really would not do a return at the actual warehouse of the company. You would probably have to get, if everything has to be done online, you have to start the return process online. You're going to have to get your grandkids to help you out because, like, if I want to return something to Amazon, I'm not going to go to the Amazon warehouse to return it. I'm going to have to figure it out online. And, get your grandkids to help you out or something, or a neighbor or somebody to help you because it just doesn't seem logical to show up at the warehouse to do a return. But that's where the incident happened. I think Stormy, threatened this woman because she wanted this woman off her property. And then there was these arrest warrants issued for Stormy. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a whole lot going on there. But that's my review. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video. If you like this content, subscribe to my channel, and I'll definitely talk to you later. Bye.